بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Hey, let's get it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to our lessons in Madinah Book 1. We previously took lessons 3 and 4, and now, inshallah ta'ala, today we'll begin with lesson 5, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, ad-dars al-khamis. Ad-dars al-khamis. And inshallah ta'ala, by now, you guys have acquired your book, the explanation of Madinah Book 1 by Sheikh Hussein Ali Hafidhahullah ta'ala. And this will allow you, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, to follow along with that which we're doing here on the screen, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So without further ado, hayya, let's get it. So we have Ad-Dars al-Khamis, lesson 5. And inshallah ta'ala, the first principle we'll be learning today is the principle of al-mudafu wal-mudafu ilayhi. Al-mudafu wal-mudafu ilayhi, as you see here on the screen. So in this lesson, we will learn idafa, or how to form possessive sentences. How to form possessive sentences. In the English language, if we wanted to indicate that something belongs to someone or something, there's one of three methods. One, either adding an apostrophe and an S. Adding an apostrophe and an S at the end, such as Muhammad's book, or such as Hisham's notebook. So we see there, so when we add, as we know in the English language, when we add the apostrophe and the S, then that shows possession, right? It shows that the book belongs to Muhammad, the notebook belongs to Hisham. Or in English, you can add of, such as the office of the Imam, the office of the Imam, or the office of the director, all right? And so on and so forth. And the last way in English we would do it is juxtaposing one noun with another, meaning putting them next to each other. Juxtaposing one noun with another noun, such as we say the masjid door or the car key, right? The door is part or belongs to the masjid, the key belongs to the car, right? The masjid door, the car key. In Arabic, there's only one possible way to make possessive sentences. And this is by always making the first word, the possessed, al-mudaf, and the second word, al-mudafu ilay, the possessor. All right? So the first word will always be the possessed, what is being possessed, which we call al-mudaf. And the second word will always be the mudaf ilay, or the possessor. So let's consider the following examples. Kitabu Muhammadin. Kitabu Muhammadin. So we have mudaf, mudafun ilay. So what's being possessed? The book. Who's the possessor? Muhammad. Kitabu Muhammadin, Muhammad's book. Daftaru Hishamin. Mudaf, mudaf ilay. Okay? Hisham's notebook. Maktabul Imami, the Imam's office, or the office of the Imam. However you want to translate it. The Imam's office, the office of the Imam, they're both correct. Maktabul Imami. So Maktab is mudaf, and al-Imam mudaf ilay, mudafun ilay. He's the possessor, the Imam. Babul Masjidi, Babul Masjidi, the masjid door. Mudaf, mudafun ilay. Miftahu sayyarati, the car key. Miftahu sayyarati, the car key. Mudaf, mudafun ilay, the car key. All right. So in order to form these sentence structures, the mudaf, mudaf ilay structure, there's three important things that we need to consider and we need to do in order to make it correct. All right. So the first thing, and we'll highlight it here. نحذف التنوين عند الإضافة. We must remove the tanween from the first word. Alright? From the mudaf. We remove the tanween from the first word. So if we have, for example, kitabun, it would turn to what? Kitabu. That's the first thing we must do. نحذف التنوين عند الإضافة. Alright, what about the second thing? نحذف ال عند الإضافة. The definite article must be removed from the mudaf. We must remove the alif lam, the harf ta'rif, or the definite article from the first word, the mudaf. So if it has it. So, for example, if it was al-kitabu, again, we remove the alif lam. So we remove the alif lam. Likewise, remove if it was tanween. We remove the tanween if it was a tanween, as we seen in the previous example, the previous rule. Lastly, المضاف إليه مجرور بالكسرة. All right, the second word, which is the possessor, the mudaf إليه, it is majroor with kasra vowel. It is majroor with kasra vowel. So we see, for example, Muhammadin, as for example. So the result, Kitabu Muhammadin. Kitabu Muhammadin. So this is mudaf ilay. Kitabu Muhammadin. So as such, the following are incorrect. So you can't say al-kitabu Muhammad. Why not? Why can't you say al-kitabu Muhammad? What is wrong in this sentence here, this mudaf ilay structure? If you said that the mudaf cannot have alif lam, the harf ta'rif, then you're correct. Now, all right. Kitabun Muhammadin. Why is that incorrect? Kitabun Muhammadin. Why is this incorrect? If you said that the mudaf cannot have tanween, then you're correct. Because kitabun here has tanween, that's incorrect. All right. Let's look at the last example. Kitabu Muhammadun. Why is this incorrect? If you said that the mudaf ilay, which is Muhammad in this case, must be majroor with kasra, then you're correct. Here, this is marfu', it has dhamma. So this is incorrect. Now, all right, let's look at some other examples of al-mudaf wal-mudafu ilay. All right. Ismur rajuli, the man's name. All right, look at the structure. Ismur rajuli. This is mudaf ilay. Look at the principles that we learned already from before. So ism, it doesn't have harf ta'rif, it doesn't have tanween. Naam, it doesn't have the word ism, it doesn't have the harf ta'rif. Likewise, it doesn't have tanween. Naam. Look at ar-rajul. Ar-rajul is mudaf ilay. It has kasra. All right, one kasra in this case. Why? Because you have the harf ta'rif here on alif lam. Excuse me. Let's just circle that there. So of course you can't have kasratain. You can't have a tanween at all if you have the harf ta'rif. So in this case, ar-rajul will have just one kasra. جيد. ممتاز. Ibn Khalidin. Ibn Khalidin. Khalid's son. Ibn Khalid. So Ibn is mudaf. Khalid is mudaf ilay. Khalid's son. All right. We're attributing the son to Khalid, his father. Ibn Khalidin. Now. Bintu Sa'idin. Bintu Sa'idin. Now. Bintu Sa'idin. And we already know that names of individuals, male names, the general rule is that they're going to end with tanween. Okay, they're going to end with tanween. All right. Unlike female names, the alam al-mu'annith, la yunawwan, as we talked about that already, it does not take tanween. So bintu Sa'idin, Sa'id's daughter. Bintu Sa'idin, mudaf. So this is mudaf ilay, Sa'id's daughter. Kitabul Maktabati, the library book. Kitabul Maktabati. Kitabul Maktabati, the library book. Mudaf and mudafun ilay. Inshallah, when we go inside the book, we'll do some more examples. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. The second principle is al-munada. Al-munada. So what is an-nida? النداء هو طلب الإقبال باستعمال حرف من حروف النداء. So النداء is the request for someone to come by using one of the particles of النداء, one of the particles of calling. The particles of النداء are 7. However, in this lesson, we'll suffice with using just one. Many of you already know it, which is ya. Ya. This is the harf nida, the harf nida. So an example, if you saw your friend and you wanted to call him, or you wanted to call her, then you would say, for example, Ya Abbas, Ya Abbas, or Ya Khadija. Now, even though today, it can even be used when just addressing a person. You may not be calling a person from afar. You're just addressing a person that's in front of you. كيف حالك يا فلان؟ كيف حالك يا محمد؟ كيف حالك يا عائشة؟ نعم. And we have, for example, يا صفية. So in these two sentences, the letter ya is called حرف النداء. The letter ya is called حرف النداء. And the word after it is called al-munada. The word after it is called al-munada, the one being called or the one being summoned. So what's the principle here? When the munada is singular, when it's mufrad, it takes a single dhamma and does not take dhammatan. It does not take dhammatan or dhammateen. So for example, Ya Muhammadu. We don't say Ya Muhammadun. We won't write Ya Muhammadun with a tanween. So this is incorrect. Alright. Ya Khalidu. We won't say Ya Khalidun. Ya Abbasu. We won't say Ya Abbasun, or we won't write Ya Abbasun. Now, so this is the principle. When the munada is singular, it takes a single dhamma vowel and does not take dhammateen. Alright, the next principle. كتاب من هذا. This is سؤال عن العاقل. كتاب من هذا سؤال عن العاقل. So this question is directed to one with intellect, meaning a person. سؤال من عفوا كتاب من هذا. كتاب من هذا is directed to one with عقل, with intellect. For example, let's look at this sentence. كتاب من هذا. هذا كتاب المدرس. Let's highlight that. كتاب من هذا. هذا كتاب المدرس. نعم. Says we already learned that man is اسم استفهام للعاقل. So كتاب من. We usually would translate this as whose book. Whose book is this? نعم. كتاب من هذا. Look at the answer. هذا كتاب المدرس. Now look at the مضاف مضاف إليه construction as we just learned. هذا, meaning what the book that you're pointing to. كتاب المدرس is the teacher's book. Alright. كتاب من هذا. هذا كتاب المدرس. For example, whose book is this? Now, or you can say, for example, قلم من هذا. قلم من هذا. Whose pen is this? Alright. You can say, for example, you can say also, ملف من هذا. Whose file folder is this? ملف من هذا. Alright, whatever you may say. So notice how kitab also, in this sentence, kitabu man, it has one dhamma. Why is this? Although it's indefinite, we know the word that's indefinite, that's nakira, usually has tanween, right? In this case, kitab is the object of possession. It's mudaf. And the noun man is mudafun ilayhi. Naam. Naam. The noun man is mudafun ilay. As we learned that the word which is mudaf ilay is usually majroor bil kasra. Man, we don't see any kasra. Why? Because man is a word which is mabni. Naam. It is mabni. So asma al-istifham, all asma al-istifham, interrogative particles, they're mabni, meaning they don't change. Asma al-istifham, they are mabni, so they can't change. So meaning you won't see the effect of change in that particular word. All right, so keep that in mind. You'll get into that in detail, inshallah ta'ala, specifically in Madinah book 3 when they speak. All right, أضف الكلمة الأولى إلى الثانية. So we're going to make mudaf ilay constructions in this lesson here. All right, so I'll give you an example. Kitabun Muhammadun, Kitabu Muhammadin. All right, Maktabun al-mudarrisu, Maktabul mudarrisi, mudaf ilay. All right, so for example, Qalamun Hamidun, we would say what? Qalamu Hamidin. Qalamu Hamidin, Hamid's pen. Baytun Abbasun, we would say what? Baytu Abbasin, Abbas's house, mudaf ilay. Ghurfatun Aliyun, all right, we want to make a mudaf ilay, so we say what? Ghurfatu Aliyin. Ghurfatu Aliyin, Ali's room, and so on and so forth. I want you to do the rest. I'll do one more on this side. All right. Miftahun al-baytu. Miftahul bayti, the house key. Miftahul bayti, the house key. All right, and so on and so forth. I want you to complete these exercises بوحدك, on your own. اقرأ واكتب مع ضبط أواخر الكلمات. Read and write, placing the correct vowelings on these words. Again, this is an exercise. Now they don't have any vowelings. Now, by you learning the principles of النحو, the قواعد النحوية, you should be able to do this يعني بكل سهولة. You should be able to do this بكل سهولة, with all ease, because you studied already these principles. So مثلا, for example, باب المدرسة, مدرستي. This word here, I want you guys to pay attention to this, because many people get this wrong. Because when you're just looking at this word, it can say one of two things. It can say al-madrasa, which is school. It can say al-mudarrisa, which is teacher, female teacher. Al-mudarrisa. It can say either two. It can read either one if there's no vowels. How do you know which one it is? You know it by the context. It can't be babul mudarrisa. I mean, I guess it could be, but here it means babul madrasa. All right, the school door. The school door, because you're not talking about being at the door of your teacher, right? It's talking about the school door. Babul madrasati, the school door. All right, so keep that in mind. So when there's no vowels on that word, it can be al-mudarrisa and it can be al-madrasa, school or teacher, female teacher. You know by the context. You know by ماذا? You know by the context. Hima, F1. Let's get our tool. Himarul rajuli. All right, we know this is shamsiya, so we don't say himarul. La, you're not pronouncing that lam. Himarul rajuli, baytu hamidin, and so on and so forth. You do the rest. Iqra, read. I want you to read this. Qira'a بدون أخطاء. اقرأ هذه الجمل قراءة بدون أخطاء, without error, without any errors. أين بيت المدرس؟ مدرسي هو بعيد. القرآن كتاب الله. The Quran is the book of Allah. كتاب الله is مضاف إليه. الكعبة بيت الله. The Kaaba is the house of Allah. Muhammadun sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Rasulullah. So look at the mudaf ilay. Here, the messenger of Allah, the house of Allah. All right. خرج المدرس من حرف جار من غرفة المدير مضاف إليه. Look how we talked about it before. من as a حرف جار. That which comes after it is اسم مجرور and it's مضاف إليه as well. Alright. خرج المدرس من غرفة المدير. هذا? Whose house is this? And so on and so forth. You do the last one. We talked about the Hamzatul Wasl. Alright. اسم الولد محمد واسم البنت زينب. اسم الولد محمد واسم البنت زينب. Alright. So look, wasmu. Okay. This is the Hamzatul Wasl there. Hamzatul Wasl. We see it there. This is the wasl sign. واسم البنت زينب. Alright. اسم المدرس حامد. ما اسم المدير. ما اسم المدير. So you don't say ما اسم المدير. ما اسم المدير. You jump over the Hamzatul Wasl if something precedes it. Same thing.